Hi, everyone. Judge Andrew Napolitano here for Judging Freedom. Today is Wednesday, June 8, 2022. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Please remember to like and subscribe. The New York Post reported this morning that yesterday a post that it had put on its own YouTube account was taken down 17 months after it was put up there. It's a long time for YouTube to decide what they're doing. What is this all about? So a New York Post reporter had a live video interview with kind of a loopy young man who was part of the invasion, insurrection, political demonstration, whatever you want to call it, at the Capitol building on January 6th. The young man happens to be an Orthodox Jew whose father is a New York State Supreme Court justice. That's the trial level court in New York State Supreme Court justice. In the interview, basically was this guy spouting off his political views. He believes that Joe Biden didn't win. He believes the election was stolen from Donald Trump. He had some strong opinions about vaccines and some strong opinions about mask wearing. The New York Post posts it on YouTube, and it's there for 17 months, and yesterday they took it down. Well, now, why did they take it down after it's there for 17 months? First of all, this has nothing to do with the government. So a New York Post headline that says big tech doing the bidding of the Biden administration is misleading. And another New York Post opinion piece that says big tech assaulting free speech is misleading. Free speech means free from government interference. Free speech does not mean that the owner of a bulletin board, whether it's an old-fashioned cork bulletin board where you use a thumbtack to post the fact that you have your bicycle for sale, I'm really back in the 1950s here, or whether it's a modern digital bulletin board like Facebook or YouTube, whatever it is, the owner is not the government, and the owner is permitted to interfere with speech. That's not interfering with free speech. Only the government can interfere with free speech. And when it does, the government is wrong, because free speech means free from government interference. It does not mean free from private interference. Here's the interesting issue. And I didn't like this headline, which said YouTube is now censoring journalism for, meaning in behalf of, the Biden administration. I didn't like it because the headline was incendiary and the facts in the story don't support the headline. However, if that headline were true, if YouTube was censoring in behalf of the Biden administration, then the courts could find that YouTube was engaged in what's called state action. State action is a doctrine that says when a private entity and the government are so intertwined with each other to benefit both that you can't tell who's doing what, then the restraints that are imposed by the Constitution on the government can be imposed on the private entity. Stated differently, if YouTube decided to censor people in behalf of the government, doing the government's bidding, then you could sue YouTube and say you are an arm of the government and you're assaulting free speech. Now, YouTube's worth a lot of money. They have a lot of lawyers. Presumably they know what I just explained, so they have to be careful not to appear to have done that and not to do it actually in reality. Because if they do it and they do it too much, and there is this symbiotic relationship between YouTube and the government, then the First Amendment restraints on the government can be applied to YouTube. But without that symbiotic relationship, as much as you and I may dislike the politics of YouTube, they own their bulletin board, and they can say what they want on it, and they can kick off what they want to kick off on it. But it is odd to kick something off after it's been there for 17 months. Judge Napolitano for Judging Freedom.